Hey everybody, and welcome to Super Comic Fun Time on Free Comic Book Day. And what a day it's been. I started my day at noon of going out and visiting various shops. I visited 4 in total, if you include half-price books. And I don't see why you shouldn't. Let me tell you what was going on. Like I say, it's exciting. I'm running down now. I have to do some gardening still tonight, so I'm going to make this as quick yet informative as I can. If I have to do a part 2, I'll do a part 2. So this is where I started. I went to Half Price Books. I didn't expect to find much there, and their thing is, you can get a free comic book with a purchase, and I wasn't in the mood to purchase anything today when I was there, so I didn't get anything there. So I think half-price books could, I don't know. I have ideas of what half-price books should do for Free Comic Book Day, and maybe someday I'll talk about them. For right now, I'm just going to move on. The next place I went to was Graham Crackers Comics, which is the one closest to where I live and the one I normally go to. And so I'll go through the free ones first. I'm going to start with this one. The most exciting one that I got today is the Meta Baron. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't looked at any of these. I just got home 10 minutes ago and started setting up the stream. So yeah, this is book 3 of the Meta Guardians and the Techno Baron. Now, the Techno Baron is a character in Jodorowsky's The Inkle, which I've talked about, but I haven't really gone in depth on or shown you any images from it, but it's one of my favorite series so far. I just finished all 3 of the main books. The Inkle, which is the first one, the main one. Then there was Before the Inkle and After the Inkle. And there's also Final Inkle, which before Mobius had died, he started working with Jodorowsky on a After the Inkle, or the Final Inkle. I'm confused on the. It could have been called. His could have been called the After Inkle, and they only have 1 volume of that. And then Jodorowsky found another artist, and instead of continuing that story, he liked the art so well he rewrote the story for the artist so that they could do the whole story together. And I think Mobius was still credited as creator of the characters in that. So, it looks like I say, I haven't looked at this one yet. This looks like a very fun one. I'm very glad I got this one. This is the #1 one you should have gotten if you had a choice, in my opinion. And then I got the Amazing Spider-Man one. At Graham Crackers, I was limited to 3, so I got the 2 Marvel ones and the Meta Baron. And then they finally had Action 1000, so I picked that up. Very excited to read this. I also picked up, this was on the shelf. I don't remember any of these being on the shelf the last couple of times I was there. The last time I went, I wasn't really looking for it. I think I got there kind of late on Wednesday, and I really wanted to get my Prisoner book. So this one, in my opinion, 999 is a far more important number than 1000. So I picked that one up. And then I saw this one here. I don't know anything about it, but it's Action Comics Special. And this one, it says Lex Luthor's Dark Secret Revealed. So yeah, so I've got for somebody who doesn't buy recent comic books very often, I got 3 today. So that is very good. The next place I stopped was in downtown Madison, a place called New Hope Bookstore. They specialize in collectibles and back issues. And you'll remember way back, I did Avengers 119, which I thought was a fantastic issue, as I recall. It was written by Jim Shooter, and it was part 1 of 2. That's the one where certain Avengers were kind of out and about. Famously, the Wasp was out either shopping or at lunch or something, when suddenly she felt compelled to do something, and she shrunk down to a wasp, and she wasn't wearing her special clothes that would shrink with her, so she ended up flying off naked, which I thought was hilarious. So I got the part 2 of that. And the way New Hope works is, they have a color system. So when I saw this, it was like 4 for $10 for the dot. So I went through and I I picked up some more issues, not necessarily, like I think I got them relatively close. I'm not sure how I got them here. So like one that wasn't a red dot was number 221, and this one was a little pricier. This was $6, but I just, 222 was there, so I had to be a little bit of a completist, so I got 222, which is also another very good number. So there's 220. And then they didn't have 223, so I just grabbed 224. And a lot of these didn't look like they were part 1s and 2s, so I just kind of went with it. And then I got an earlier one, number 217. So that rounded it out. It's like the problem is I didn't have a specific plan of what I wanted, except for Avengers 220. So when I saw the dot system, then I had to think, well, do I want to go to a different? And then to make it easy on myself, I just stuck with the Avengers for my whole purchase there. I guess I'm not. Oh, and then it was Cinco de Mayo today. So when Free Comic Book Day happens on Cinco de Mayo, you get to go to a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant. So we went to a Mexican restaurant for late dinner, and it was pretty awesome. I had the tacos. I think it's called pascals, and my wife had the nachos. And so then we went to Westfield Comics together. So they had a limit of 5 comic books. So since there were 2 of us, I was able to get 10. So let me see here. I want to do the free ones first and then show you the ones I bought. So, I had her get a Metabaron because I don't know. I just kind of had a feeling on it. I don't know if that was the right choice. But then it decided, for me, it was like hard to choose like 10 comics. So this one looks good, Lady Melancholia. So I'm going to try that one out. And then this is a manga. So what is this one called? This is called My Hero Academia. So, this one is like manga. You read it from the opposite direction than we read in the West. It's like we read from left to right. So you read this from right to left, which I have not read. I read a little bit of that one famous manga, Attack on Titan, but I read it on Comixology. So I didn't want to get into it. So I'll try this one out because it's free. Okay. Starburns. So I don't, it just looked kind of cool. I don't know anything about it. And what is this one? This one is Barrier. Kind of cool. I think it should look like that. So I don't know, again, don't know anything about it, but I will find out about it. Oh, and then there was a copy of The Tick. So I am more familiar with the cartoon show from the 90s. I watched the first episode of the Amazon show, and I thought it was pretty good. It's just I don't watch that much TV these days, and I'm watching Deep Space Nine as my main TV show, and I haven't, I dropped off. There were so many comic book shows, I wasn't getting anything else done. So this looks very cool artwork in here, so very happy with that. And then Legend of Korra. So again, don't know anything about it, but it looks like it might be fun. And then this is a very cool cover. Doctor Who. Been a fan of Doctor Who for a long time. I think I've mentioned it before, since the 70s, practically since Doctor Who first came to America. I remember when it was like a half-an-hour show, and it was hard to catch because it came on like around 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, and I was usually outside playing, but I did happen to catch at least 2 episodes of it back in the day that I can recall. I think one was part of Genesis of the Daleks, and the other one was the one, I can't think of it right now, but so I will stop. Then here's Showdown. And then, see, I'm not a Transformers fan, but I decided to go with Transformers over Bob's Burgers. They had a Bob's Burgers comic, and I didn't get it. And I'm kind of wondering if I should regret that. But I'll try, I feel like I should be open to everything. So even though I'm not a Transformers fan, I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. And that is it for the free comic books. So then, they had a True Believers. Now, I had a chance to get this a couple of weeks ago, and then it was sold out at my closest comic book store. So since they had it there, I love these $1 True Believers issues. So I grabbed this. That'll be fun to read. And then I got to meet at Westfield Comics, and this is on the east side. There's two in Madison. There's one on the west side, and I didn't go to that one. And then the one on the east side is just off of Willie Street, and they had a Comics Pro there selling his book, and this is called Rebirth of the Gangsters. And the guy, he signed the book for me. I thought it was just really cool. And he, if you remember when I won If from Terry Mayo, he had a story in If. And so I'm not really very familiar, but his name is, was it C.J. Standal? Standal, so Standal. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. And Juan Romero looks like to be the other creator of this. So yeah, here it is, credited, created by C.J. Standal, writer, and Juan Romero, artist. And so it looked really cool. He was explaining it to me, but I was like sold before he finished. It's like, sort of like, we walked into Westfields, and there was a lady there handing out stickers that said Free Comic Book Day, sort of like, the I voted sticker, and mine fell off. This shirt isn't very good for holding stickers, but I mean, that was fun. And then right when you walked in, there was CJ and his books. And so like I almost walked past him because, they said, okay, the free comic books are back there. But then I just kind of stopped. I go, oh, what are you doing here? I thought this could be a comic book pro, and it was. So I talked to him for a little bit. It's just really cool. And like I say, he was selling his latest collection. So I think this was like a lot of times, sold in single issues first and then collected. The collected edition, that's the word I was looking for a few minutes ago. So it was a very exciting day. It was very nice to meet CJ. So yeah, he's a very down-to-earth guy. From what he was explaining, it's a gangster story, and he was going into all of the kind of gangster properties, like this meets this, and it's like, oh, that sounds good, but I want to read it. So yeah, I'm going to probably, I've been reading another book lately that isn't a comic book, but I think I'll put this in my bag for work, and yeah, it's very exciting. Very, very glad I got it signed. So awesome day, and it's especially. You don't, because me, I don't do any research before I do anything. I just know it's Free Comic Book Day, so I go to the stores, and it was really nice after a very nice dinner to go to Westfield and meet a comic pro, as well as all the other stuff that happened. It was a fantastic day. I hope yours was really good too. Hope you got out there, got to your favorite store, got to visit a few stores, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I took a picture of CJ at the store with his book, so I'll probably make it a thumbnail here later on tonight. Super Comic Fun Time out.